Rob, tough weekend. How was it out on the track today? Obviously, you got to move on pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was obviously a tough second half on the weekend. Disappointing result, but knocked over the reviews Monday, and certainly back on the horse and being positive, and had a good session today. Ready to go this week.
Can you speak to that positivity? How do you move on from something quickly? It's something you kind of just don't have a choice with a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean the 6-day break helps. I mean we've turned our focus very quickly to Geelong after the weekend. So, as I said, Monday we came in, knocked over the reviews. Was some confronting footage to watch of how we played on the weekend, but being able to knock that over and then I guess get on with it, because footy week to week there's obviously you have some bad weeks, have some good weeks. So it's about coming back and getting back on the horse.
Do you enjoy the trip to Geelong? It's traditionally been a hard one for a lot of teams, Crows in particular. I think it's about 21 years now. Do you enjoy the challenge of getting out there and having the opportunity to try and turn that around?
Yeah, for sure. I love going down Geelong. And the last couple of times we've played pretty well there and just gave them a shake, but we haven't quite got it done. So we'd love to go down there and get the win. So it's been obviously a while for the club, but we really rate our chances and look forward to going down there and playing our way and getting the win.
When you have a tough loss, how much fire do you personally have wanting to kind of atone for errors, mistakes, whatever it is, to make sure it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, 100%. I think as a group, we certainly don't want to have another loss like that. So you certainly got a bit of fire in the belly as a group, and hopefully get some guys back this week and ready to turn that around and play our best footy this weekend.
Just on that, can you? I'll just name a few, go one by one, I suppose. But Dorse probably the biggest one. What does it mean to get your skipper back potentially, if he can tick all those boxes?
Yeah, he's very likely to come back indoors. So he's obviously a huge part of the way we play from a leadership point of view, and then obviously his footy stuff. So he's so important in our shape defensively and directing the whole group, especially through the midfield. So we certainly missed him last week, and we sort of got cut up a little bit with their offence coming back through us, and he's a huge part of that, and with his leadership and the way he plays, and then obviously a great player with the ball as well. So great to have him back this week.
Can you just speak on his leadership? I mean, it sounds like Darcy did a really good job stepping up, but he's almost irreplaceable, it seems, like Dorse, with the way he just kind of goes about it and the example he sets physically and with what he does.
Yeah, I think it's the example of Dorse, the way he plays, but then also he just sees the game so well while the game's going on. So he's able to actually almost be another coach out there and direct us, and especially as a midfield group. And he sees the game so well in live time, and he's able to, I guess, direct and set the boys up. So he's a super important player from that point of view.
A lot of people had their hearts in their mouths when Muzz went down a few weeks ago. Thankfully, not the worst case scenario. How's he been tracking? He looked pretty good out there today.
Yeah, just speaking to him after training, he's pulled up well. So he's hopefully good to go this weekend. So it's obviously a huge scare for him, staring down the barrel of another 12 months in rehab. And but luckily his knee held up fine, which is a good sign of the strength of that knee. So he's hopefully coming back this weekend, and he's been rock solid for us in the weeks he's been back. So hopefully get him back as well.
And just one on Dan Curtin. What have you made of his kind of work over the last couple of weeks? Obviously a young, I suppose, key position, even though he's been in the mid, but young, big-bodied guy. It can take some time, but there's been some promising signs.
Yeah, 100%. He's been super impressive since switching to that midfield role in the Sandful, and I certainly wouldn't want to line up on him if I was a fellow midfielder. He's a big body and is so good with the ball, and he's really composed and strong with it. So he's been great back there, and obviously played as a sub last week. So we'll see what happens this week in terms of a full game or not. I'm not 100% sure, but he's certainly tracking really well and going to be a great player for a long time to come.
And just on you, mate, personally, how have you rated your last couple of weeks? I think we spoke to you maybe a couple of months ago, but how have you made your season personally and where things sit at the moment?
Yeah, obviously went out of the team for a period there, which was disappointing for me personally, but I feel like my last month's been pretty solid in the ruck. Feel like I'm giving the mids first use and then being able to add a few more strings to the bow around the ground, so getting more involved and taking a couple more marks, which is pleasing. So looking to build on that and keep improving my game, because feeling like I'm in a solid space.
You said it was disappointing. How did you manage that period? Did you have to do anything differently? Did you need a bit more self-reflection? Did you need to, change up any of your habits or anything? Or did you just kind of have to go back to work, take feedback on and crack in?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously always a shock to the system, and it's always disappointing, but probably just a matter of working on the things you need to work on. It always puts a bit of fire in your belly and sharpens you up. So it's probably just that. From an emotional point of view, you sort of get kicked into gear, and you certainly have a bit more hunger and a bit more fire in your belly when that happens, and then working on the things I needed to work on, which has been good.